As you can see, we're making some pretty good headway. The driveline's back and installed. See both drive shafts are back. Transmission, the transmission mount. We got the frame all prepped and painted, ready for the skid plate. There's our new Adams drive shaft right there, as you can see. Double carton with the slip yoke kit. Everything's starting to look pretty good. So next thing, we're gonna get the skid plate all prepped and look at installing that. Here's the skid plate. It's been all cleaned and power washed, and all the rust has been sanded off or blended off with a Scotch-Brite wheel, and retouched any of the areas that were bare and needing repainting. So there it is. Things about to go on. So one thing to note, because we got rid of a transfer case lowering kit, we had to get new hardware. We didn't have the original hardware for the skid plate. So Crown makes this kit, cross member mounting bolt kit. And it's just that, tapered bolts for the skid pan. Another thing worth noting, this transmission jack is really useful for installing the skid plate. See what happens when the bolt holes start getting close. Might have to switch to plan B, which would be put some straps across the bottom. It all depends on where these holes line up. Pretty close, actually. I think this is gonna work. Let's see if we can get a few holes started. One. Two. All right, there's two corners. Three, left side's done. Okay, right now we've got a little bit of an alignment issue. Let me see if I can show you. All right, there's the holes that I'm trying to get to line up. The transmission mount and the skid plate. So I think what's going on is this side is too low and that side's too high, which is causing that. So let's see if we can fix it. That totally did not work. Absolutely did not work. So I had to start over, lowered everything, recentered the pan, and starting a different approach where focus is to align those transmission bolts first. So I got that. The pan is pressed up. Those bolts, or those posts, are through the pan, but now the side holes don't line up at all. So I'm gonna go get a big alignment pin, alignment punch type deal, and see if I can work it from there. Kind of feel like an astronaut. So I got my alignment pin, but I'm kind of thinking that this might not work. What I'm probably gonna have to do is get my floor jack and get it underneath the front of the transmission to take off the weight and get rid of that jack stand that I got under there. So the floor jack can move a little bit, whereas that jack stand can't. And I think we just need to kind of float the transmission while we're aligning the pins. Yeah, let's see what happens. Okay, we didn't need the floor jack. Actually, we were able to use the tranny jack. That worked out pretty good. We got it under the pan, and it's pushing up on the tranny, so I was able to get this alignment pin and kind of get the holes going in the right direction. Let's see if we can get one started here. There we go. I think that's one. Let's see if we can get another one. Alright, so these are lining up pretty good, but there's too big of a gap to get the the fastener started, so let me work on that. All right, so I guess we're gonna lift it up a little bit using the floor jack. That should take care of the heavy lifting. There it is. Let's see if the bolts are on. All right, the skid pan's back on. All the bolts are in. They're all run down. They get new hardware, of course. That about does it for the skid plate. One more thing to cross off the list.